Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Ruben and today we are going to talk about the big ideas from ARK from 2021. This series will consist of 15 episodes and this one will be about part 3, virtual worlds. So let's look at the virtual worlds. While virtual worlds consist of video games, augmented reality and virtual reality, ARK defines virtual reality as a computer simulated environment that can be accessed by anyone at any time. Society interacts daily with virtual worlds which today are in their infancy. According to the research, revenue from virtual worlds will compound 17% annually from roughly 180 billion today to 390 billion in 2025. And today virtual worlds are independent from each other, but in the future they could become interoperable, culminating in what futurists have deemed as the metaverse. Augmented reality, also known as AR, and virtual reality, also known as VR, they are similar technologies, but there is a major difference between them and their potential applications may vary wildly. Virtual reality refers to a full immersive experience in a virtual world, while augmented reality refers to a modified view of the real world. The trend right now is that video game monetization models are shifting to virtual worlds. We have a breakdown of global gaming revenue. The green color is the percent of revenue from in-game purchases, while the purple color consists of the percent of revenue from premium games. If you look at 2010, the premium games consisted of 80% and the in-game purchases of 20%. If you look at 2020, you can see that the premium games went down from 80 to 25% and that the revenue from in-game purchases went up from 20 to 75% in 2020, and ARK expects that this percent of revenue from in-game purchases is going to increase from 75% to even 95% in 2025. Let's now look at the clip where VR is used in the gaming industry as well as the movie industry.
Steam conducts a monthly survey to collect data about what kinds of computer hardware and software people are using. An analysis showed Half-Life Alyx had nearly 1 million additional monthly connected VR headsets. It's expected that in a self-isolated world, people will be using more and more of online services, but for virtual reality, 1 million VR headsets over the course of a month is a huge number, especially because these users came from a single source. Granted, Half-Life Alyx is one of the killer apps the virtual reality industry has been waiting for, these statistics are a good sign of the oncoming growth of VR. The global market value of virtual reality in gaming is expected to reach $48.2 billion by 2026. The market is driven by continuous development of current gaming technologies like 3D effects, motion detection, interactive graphics, and the increase of disposable income of people worldwide. Virtual reality headsets are quite expensive, but with an ever-growing industry, the cost is expected to go down, and VR will eventually become mainstream. Besides gaming, virtual reality will grow in other areas of entertainment as well, like the film industry. Right now, it's hard to predict when a fully immersive 3D interactive virtual reality movie will be released, but if we dare to speculate, a good pick would be one of the Avatar sequels. After all, James Cameron is known for technological innovation in cinema production. He also works with VR technology almost every day. So if it turns out that one of his upcoming Avatar movies will be released as a virtual experience, I, for once, cannot wait to see what it feels like to ride a Banshee.
ARK believes that the monetization of gaming will increase thanks to the proliferation of in-game purchases. Economic power is shifting from developers to gamers. In fact, with lower barriers to entry, many gamers have become developers, and in ARK's view, this shift has increased the monetization rates of video games. And during the next 5 years, the cost per hour of playing video games is likely to increase by 20%, but it will remain at a bargain relative to other sources of entertainment and information. You can also put that in a graph. We have direct versus indirect monetization in the United States. On the x-axis we have the source of entertainment and information. On the y-axis we have the cost per hour. The purple color is the direct monetization and the green color is the indirect form of monetization in the United States. newspapers, cable and social media platforms, they are more expensive, and a podcast and radio is relatively cheap. They also refer in this graph as SVOD, which means subscription video on demand, and they mention here AVOD, which means ad-based video on demand. Video games are becoming third places away from home and work. They put this in a graph. You have global virtual gaming revenue, a forecast. On the x-axis you have time, and on the y-axis you have revenue in billions of US dollars. And according to ARK's research, the average time spent playing video games will increase from 1.1 hour per person per day to 1.5 hours during the next 5 years. And if the increasing trend on both the monetization and time spent remains in place, in-game purchase revenue could compound 21% annually during the next 5 years, and that's going then from roughly 130 billion in 2020 to nearly 350 billion by 2025. Augmented reality is primed to scale. Over the past few years, companies such as Snapchat, Facebook and Apple have increased their investment in augmented reality, encouraging widespread use of AR tools on mobile devices. While you can also look at the recent news, like Microsoft, they recently earned a contract of almost worth $22 billion, and they're gonna make AR devices for the US Army. And there are also rumors from Apple that they will announce Apple glasses in 2022. Putting this in a graph, you have augmented reality market opportunity. On the x-axis we have time, and on the y-axis we have revenue in billions of US dollars. The green color represents AR smartphone revenue, and the purple color represents revenue from AR glasses. And ARK did research about this, and they actually say the following about this. By 2022, consumer-grade AR headsets should turbocharge this trend. And ARK forecasts that by 2030, the AR market could really scale from under $1 billion today to 130 billion. Outside gaming, virtual reality is also becoming useful for emergency services such as firefighting and healthcare.
What about virtual reality? First up, firefighting. Vobbling have created a platform where you can customize the fire training scenario by specifying the environment, the type of fire itself, and how to put it out. This extinguisher that they provide has been fitted with trackers to make it feel like you're operating a real one and not just a couple of controllers. Aside from firefighters, it's designed to train office workers so they can also learn how to tackle workplace fires. But what about the more serious scenarios? River have created a way for firefighters to learn almost on the go. By filming 360-degree videos of big expensive setups, firefighters can put on a wireless headset and go through the training as if they were there. Now, looking at this, I thought, isn't this just playing a video? How exactly can this be any more useful in virtual reality?
Simply, we can't get those venues on a day-to-day basis because we can't just set fire to buildings. That also costs us in the region of between £10,000 and £15,000 a time. So we ran a brief feedback session this morning with the crews that actually attended the scenario, and a number of other people have seen it who didn't go. And they were really engaged of almost entering the scenario themselves, verbally talking about what they'd do, how they'd do it.
Right, that's what's going on with firefighting. Let's move on to healthcare. Fundamental VR system helps train surgeons and nurses on how to perform certain tasks during procedures. By using haptic feedback through the tools, the user can feel how they're doing in the virtual procedure. Is this on something? Am I touching something?
No, it's in the air.
And the system is also accredited, which means it's also a way for some in healthcare to earn credits for their course. And their multi-user system means students can remotely patch into virtual surgeries to watch and learn, an alternative to traditional learning and examination.
So the pandemic has just accelerated, in my view, a trend that was already taking place, and that's about being able to go 24 hours a day into a learning environment now that they can't get into the operating room as easily as they used to. The numbers of cases are dramatically reduced. People don't want to come into hospital at the moment, and this is an opportunity to fill some of that gap.
But for more COVID-19 specific scenarios, a hospital in Taiwan is already trialling another system. Created by Simex and HTC, doctors can use this VR setup to train how to interact with patients who may have COVID-19, such as putting on protective gear, taking temperatures and gathering medical samples. So there's less wastage of real PPE and no risk of contracting the virus. That's healthcare done.
Virtual reality could approach the reality by 2030. Based on their proprietary scoring system, UVI, the best-in-class VR headsets today only achieve 10% of human visual immersion. And then they argue that if consumer VR is limited to the console gaming market, ARK believes that the VR headsets will not scale to human immersion capabilities for the mass market. And based on Wright's law, complete visual immersion at a price point comparable to that of the PC will require VR headsets to follow the adoption curve of smartphones until 2030. And what do they mean with Wright's law? Well, Wright's law states that for every cumulative doubling of units produced, the cost will fall by a constant percentage. Putting this in a graph, on the x-axis we have the cumulative UVI produced, and on the y-axis we have the US dollars per UVI. Then you see this slope. In 2020 we have a cost of 20,000. Then by 2030 they project that the gaming console like adoption is 3,400 and the smartphone like adoption will be 1,700. Last but not least, sizing the opportunity, the revenue from virtual worlds could approach $400 billion by 2025. They make a distinction between global gaming market size and global AR and VR market size. If we focus on a global gaming market size first, based on their research, the global gaming market will increase at a 16% compound annual rate during the next 5 years, from $175 billion in 2020 to $365 billion in 2025. If we now focus on global AR and VR market size, ARK says the following: the AR and VR markets will grow at a 59% compound annual growth rate during the next 5 years, from $3 billion in 2020 to $28 billion in 2025. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and see you on the next part.